From road safety concerns in Trelawny and new crime investigations across several communities, to public health warnings in Westmoreland, and continuing hurricane recovery work in the southwest. These are the major developments affecting Jamaica's 14 parishes this week. This is your Jamaica News Now, parish by parish roundup, bringing you the stories shaping communities across the island. Kingston. Mackenzie police confrontation sparks accountability questions. A confrontation involving West Kingston Member of Parliament Desmond McKenzie and members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force became one of Kingston's most closely watched developments this week. Mackenzie said he was pepper sprayed after going to Tivoli Gardens in response to concerns from residents about a fatal police shooting near a church compound. Mackenzie subsequently appealed for calm and said the justice system and established investigative processes must be allowed to work. He also raised questions about the treatment of the man who was shot and rejected questions that he had attempted to interfere with the police investigation. The incident has renewed discussion about police-community relations, the conduct expected of public officials at active scenes, and the importance of independent investigations into fatal police encounters. St. Andrew. Police seized illegal firearms in coordinated operations. The police reported the seizures of illegal firearms and ammunition during separate operations across the St. Andrew South and St. Andrew North police divisions. 6 men were reportedly taken into custody as investigators worked to determine whether the weapons were connected to shootings, robberies, or organized criminal activity. The operations formed part of continuing efforts to reduce the number of illegal weapons circulating in the corporate area. Police have again encouraged residents to provide information about firearms, wanted individuals, and suspicious activity in their communities. St. Catherine. Police constable granted bail in sexual offense case. A 23-year-old police constable accused of rape and abduction was granted bail in the St. Catherine Parish Court. The officer is accused of committing the offenses after reportedly meeting the complainant through the social media net platform TikTok. The defense has disputed the allegations and maintained that the encounter was consensual. Those claims have not been tested at trial, and the accused remains presumed innocent unless proven guilty. The case is expected to return to court as investigators and prosecutors continue the legal process. In other news in St. Catherine, the Housing Agency of Jamaica has also indicated that it intends to provide prospective homeowners with a comprehensive update concerning the delayed Elsha View housing development. Purchasers have been seeking clarity about the project's completion schedule and the delivery of their homes.
5 days. Let's empty up my savings, everything. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. You're not mad? People can't pay them their money for so long and not give people them out.
Clarendon. 2 men found dead in burnt-out vehicle. Clarendon police are investigating the deaths of 2 young men whose remains were discovered inside a burnt-out vehicle in the Bullhead Mountain area of Wexford. The deceased were identified in reports as 25-year-old Daniel Thomas and 22-year-old Tyrone Baba Thompson, both of Good Hope. Investigators are trying to establish when and where the men were killed, and whether the vehicle was set on fire in an attempt to destroy evidence. The discovery has created renewed concern about violent crime in remote communities, where isolated roads can make early detection and police response more difficult. In Manchester, Operation Reset and fraud investigations remain in focus. Law enforcement activity under Operation Reset continued to attract attention in Manchester following a series of fraud-related charges arising from operations in Mandeville and Porus. Several people were charged under legislation dealing with fraudulent conversion, while a separate accused was charged under the Dangerous Drugs Act. The police have said targeted operations are intended to disrupt individuals and groups involved in fraud, illegal firearms, narcotics, and other organized criminal activity. A 9mm six-saw pistol and 7 rounds of ammunition were also previously seized during an operation in the Scotttown area of Greenvale. St. Elizabeth Recovery Agency engages hurricane-affected communities. Representatives of the National Reconstruction and Recovery Authority have been meeting residents as recovery work continues in communities affected by Hurricane Melissa. The engagement is intended to help the authority assess outstanding housing, infrastructure, and livelihood needs and explain how the recovery program will be carried out. Agriculture remains a central concern because of St. Elizabeth's importance to Jamaica's food supply. Farmers have been encouraged to participate in recovery assessments and ensure that losses involving crops, livestock, equipment, and farm roads are properly documented. Westmoreland. Health authorities monitor childhood disease increase. The Westmoreland Public Health Department has urged parents, teachers, and school administrators to remain vigilant following an increase in cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease. The highly contagious viral illness has reportedly been affecting children attending basic, infant, and early childhood institutions, with some primary schools also reporting cases. Health officials are recommended frequent hand washing, regular cleaning of commonly touched surfaces, and the temporary removal from school of children showing symptoms such as fever, mouth sores, or rashes on the hands and feet. Parents have also been advised to seek medical guidance where symptoms become severe or a child has difficulty eating or drinking. Hurricane recovery remains another major issue, with some displaced residents still seeking permanent housing and additional assistance. Local government minister Desmond McKenzie has defended the government's response to the affected families. Hanover. Teacher colleges urged to attract international students. The future of Jamaica's teacher training sector was discussed at the Higher Education Conference held at the Princess Hotel in Hanover. Participants examined whether teachers' colleges should expand international recruitment as the country continues to lose trained educators to overseas employment. Supporters of the proposal argued that international enrollment could generate additional revenue and help institutions expand programs and facilities. However, the suggestion also raises questions about whether Jamaica is training enough educators to meet its own classroom requirements. The Ministry of Education says it is pursuing several strategies to address the migration of teachers, although recruitment, retention, compensation, and working conditions remain critical concerns. The Montego Bay Sports Complex in Catchinall is to receive a state-of-the-art LED lighting system as part of its multi-million-dollar rehabilitation. The venue was extensively damaged during Hurricane Melissa and is not expected to be ready when the Jamaica Premier League season begins in late August. The new system is being engineered to satisfy CONCACAF illumination requirements for competitive matches and television broadcasts. Project officials say the first phase should be completed in October, potentially making the facility the only CONCACAF-approved venue outside Kingston. The upgrade is expected to strengthen Montego Bay's position as a destination for regional football, international competitions, and sports tourism. Trelawny. 7 lives lost in Bogue Gate crash. Trelawny's mourning following the devastating Bogue Gate crash that claimed 7 lives. Authorities are continuing investigations into the circumstances surrounding the collision, while road safety advocates have renewed calls for stronger enforcement and faster implementation of outstanding safety measures. The tragedy has intensified debate about speeding, dangerous overtaking, vehicle fitness, driver behavior, and the design of high-risk road corridors. Authorities are expected to examine physical evidence, vehicle condition, and witness accounts as they attempt to reconstruct what happened. The crash occurred as the government prepares to introduce the Road Traffic Act, the merit point system, under which points will be added to motorists' records for specified offences and licenses may be suspended when the prescribed thresholds are reached. St. Anne. Residents oppose proposed cell tower. Residents of a St. Anne community have raised objections to the proposed construction of a cellular tower in their area. Their concerns reportedly include the location of the structure, the consultation process, and its proximity to homes. Residents are seeking further information from the relevant authorities and the company associated with the proposed development. The dispute highlights the wider challenge of expanding telecommunications infrastructure while addressing community concerns about land use and environmental and residential impacts. St. Anne is also preparing for increased economic activity associated with major entertainment events. Local officials anticipate that visitor traffic will benefit transportation providers, restaurants, shops, and accommodation operators. In St. Mary, a policeman pleads guilty to manslaughter. Police Constable Patrick Walters pleaded guilty in the St. Mary Circuit Court to manslaughter and using a firearm to commit a felony. The 24-year-old officer had originally been charged with murder in connection with the fatal shooting of his girlfriend during a dispute at her Richmond St. Mary home in June 2025. The guilty plea to the lesser offense means the matter will now proceed towards sentencing. Subject to the court's directions, the case has renewed public discussion about domestic violence, the conduct of armed members of the security forces, and the responsibility associated with access to service weapons. The conviction should not be interpreted as evidence against other police officers. It relates specifically to the facts admitted by Walters in court. Portland. Investment interest grows, but infrastructure concerns continue. Portland continues to attract interest from investors seeking opportunities in tourism, accommodation, agriculture, and related services. The parish's natural environment remains one of its strongest assets, but residents and business operators continue to argue that investment must be supported by better roads, water systems, waste management, and reliable public services. Community stakeholders have also stressed that future developments should protect beaches, rivers, and environmentally sensitive areas while creating meaningful employment for residents. The challenge will be balancing economic expansion with Portland's environmental and cultural character. St. Thomas. Search and safety concerns after teen swept away. The body of the teenager was discovered by a local fisherman after a search operation was launched after a teenage footballer was reportedly swept away while swimming off Telfer Beach in Yalis. Personnel from the Jamaica Defense Force, Coast Guard, and the Marine Police were also involved in the effort. The incident has renewed warnings about swimming in rough conditions and entering coastal waters where currents may be difficult to detect. Families are being encouraged to supervise young swimmers and pay close attention to marine warnings and changing weather conditions. Those are the leading developments from Jamaica's 14 parishes for the week ending July 19, 2026. This week's stories have again highlighted some of the country's most persistent challenges, from road safety, violent crime, and illegal firearms to teacher migration, public health, and hurricane recovery. They have also underscored the importance of community involvement, responsible public leadership, and transparent investigations. For continuing coverage from Westmoreland to St. Thomas and every parish in between, subscribe to Jamaica News Now and turn on notifications. We will continue monitoring these stories and bring you verified updates as they develop. Subscribe today, turn on notifications, and never miss the stories that matter most. Jamaica News Now, your Highlands, your news, right now.